G'day guys, my name is Lord Tomo, here again with another Sonic the Hedgehog toy item collectible review. As you already know, I am Lord Tomo, and we have the little bluester here, good old Sonic the Hedgehog. He's actually messing around with my rent receipt book. As to why he wants to know about my profits and incomes is beyond me with my rental property. Let's get into the review, shall we? This is a Sonic the Hedgehog 4-pack item-ish review. I say ish because it's kind of an ish. Now, I have made a previous video regarding this, however, it's from the same series, but obviously the difference is the content inside. I'm not going to do a shameless plug and basically tell you and redirect you to the other video. If you want to watch it, you can. It just has the exact same packaging with different figurines, of course. However, if you want to check out, you can. Shameless plug. However, I will review this individually, of course. This is a Sonic & Knuckles pack, which came 5 packs. There were 5 packs that were released, and each pack came with 4 different figurines. The previous one had different figurines. I think it was a Dr. Eggman, Spike, Knuckles, and some other one. This comes with just the normal Sonic. Yep, it comes with Sonic. It comes with a Motobug. It comes with I'm trying to remember from the top of my head. It was a Motobug. Well, this was Sonic. That was a Motobug. This was Caterpillar, and the other one was, just let me check the back. Burrowbot. There we go, Burrowbot. Funny enough, I never actually knew his name, like as a kid anyway. As an adult, I was like, oh, it's a Burrowbot. But no. Anyway, so let's go through the actual context. As I mentioned in my previous video, I absolutely adore and love the packaging of this, simply because you have the nostalgic, obviously, Sonic the Hedgehog there, kind of like a hidden cool aspect to it. You have the retro Sonic & Knuckles logo that was also listed in the Sonic & Knuckles game cartridge at the time, which I think was released 1994, I do believe, yeah. You have 4 packs in the game. There's 4 figurines. It's for ages 4+ and above. You have a little reference number, which is kind of like a batch number. You have, obviously, if you ever saw the traditional kind of logo of Sonic and that, you have good old Sonic there, and you have good old Knuckles on that as well. Obviously the packaging is kind of harmonious to the actual, aspect of it. Obviously this is red, this is blue, and the inside this is blue, and that's this is red. Once again, I absolutely love the packaging. On the side, you just have the retroness, which is a Sonic & Knuckles 4-pack. Pretty standard, pretty awesome. Obviously you have the reference number there. On the other side, you have exactly the same, only different coloring, of course. This is red, opposed to this is blue. Sonic & Knuckles 4-pack, and you obviously have the reference number. At the very top, it was created by none other than the company of Tommy. A little back history for those who, once again, shameless plug, haven't watched my previous video. Tommy was a manufacturer of a lot of consumable products for various IPs, if I'm aware. One of which being is Sonic. They released, pinballs, machines, mini games, board games, the rest, and it was on the license Tommy. As to if they exist now, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't actually gone out of the way to look into it. But back then, back in the 90s, they kind of mass-produced a lot of things. I guess they're kind of like the Jazzware back in the day in the UK and / Europe. This wasn't necessarily something massive that actually appeared in Australia, unfortunately. Actually, at the back, which is probably by far the most interesting aspect of the whole thing, you have obviously the blue and red like that. I'm digging it. You have this weird logo. I don't even know what the logo is. Conforms to the BS 56. I'm guessing conforms to BS. Yeah, I should not be laughing at that. If you are laughing at why I'm laughing about it, you probably get the joke, or ish kind of thing. Anyway, so Sonic & Knuckles, you have obviously all the figurines that initially comes with. You have obviously classic, starting from obviously this side, classic Sonic, Caterpillar, Knuckles, Splats, Bohawk, Spike, Sonic, Roller, Batbrain, Dr. Robotnik, Neutron, Dr. Robotnik again, Crabmeat. See, this is weird. This is not actually Sonic. This is Metal Sonic. Why they would call it Sonic is beyond me. It should be Metal Sonic, but you make do with what you have. Motobug, Burrowbot, Tails, Buzz Bomber, Chopper, and Sonic. The interesting thing is, Metal Sonic did not appear in the Sonic & Knuckles game. Mecha Sonic appeared, which was kind of like a silver iteration of the Mecha series. If you want to look into it a little more, or you want a comprehensive of the difference between Metal Sonic, Mecha Sonic, etc., I highly encourage you to get the Sonic the Hedgehog Encyclopedia released by Knuckles. Extremely well done. I will probably definitely have to review that. Of course, it really captures the essence of basically just the story. It focuses predominantly, just a sidetrack here, the Sonic and Knuckles, the Sonic the Hedgehog Encyclopedia, the Yachi Encyclopedia, more or less focus on the story in the history-ish kind of the Sonic the Hedgehog gaming franchise of the comic, but it also relates to the game as part of the canon, so it's definitely a nice resource of information. There's also the history of Sonic the Hedgehog, which I also definitely have to review over time, but it's definitely something to look out for. I'll probably do a comp or give a few away for those who can't find it or whatnot. I'll play around with that idea. But yeah, obviously we'll talk about that later. We have a whole bunch of stuff here. It just says now you can collect all of these superb Sonic figurines. What I like about this series in particular is they showcase a lot of the badniks, which I absolutely adore. I know, once again, Jazzware has created them, the newer version of the badniks, but in terms of the retroness, the old school ones, absolutely superb. I actually dig the fact that, yeah, they did Sonic Tails and all the fun, good characters, but, you know, come on. They're going to make cameos for the bad ones. The bad ones is just as important as the good ones. Who doesn't remember, for example, the Chopper? Like, oh, good days. But yeah, overall the package themselves is superb. I absolutely love this. I wanted to get this in its pure entirety. I do have 3 out of 5 sets. Obviously, as time goes by, if I do get them, I'll review them. This is number 2. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on the actual packaging themselves. And per the norm, we shall open this up and check it out, because that's what we do. That's what we do here in Australia. Now, absolutely nothing in, no fillers. This is just a cardboard piece, absolutely standard, nothing over the top. You know, there's a slight chance I might have gotten this wrong or have received this wrong. It could have been that, you know, the blue side was on the blue side and the red side was on the red side, and it was flipped around. Maybe. All my other ones that I received were the opposite direction, so I'm going to assume that's how it was. But if you want to mess around and make it kind of like, oh, gotta keep the blue with the blue and the red with the red, look, totally up to you. Me, meh. Now, straight off the bat, I'm going to tell you that these sculpts are absolutely superb. However, the paint apps are pretty horrible. I'll be directly blunt with you. I'll give you the first one. The first one is good old Sonic. That's how they call him. Okay, I really want to get this. Okay, there we go. See, so, okay, it doesn't look, well, I'm going to bring it in actually. There we go. This one actually is a pretty decent app. So for the predominant, it's kind of like a soft form of plastic. I don't know if it's polyester, maybe polyester. I'm going to assume maybe it's polyester. Doesn't exactly say what it's made of, so I'm going to assume polyester maybe. I don't know. Could be polyester. What do I know, right? It's kind of like a soft plastic, kind of like a flimsy, especially for his legs. Obviously, if you try to play around with his legs and move it around, obviously it will snap. I can probably guarantee you that. But yeah, that's that, which is pretty right. Now, for his face paint apps was done, mind you, this had to be done hand painted, because this is definitely not a machine based. If it was, what were they thinking? That's my questions. But yeah, basically, there's the Sonic one. Decent views, decent paint apps. At the back, you can probably tell the shunky job. You can probably see his gloves are currently blue-ish, and on the actual elbow, you see like a blue a blue painting issue going on there, and you see his boots. It's not a bad figurine. Like I said, the sculpt itself is pretty awesome. I absolutely like the sculpt. It's just the paint apps could have been done better. The only other feature that I personally like is the abundance of spikes that he has on his back. He has more. Ideally, it's meant to have kind of like one spike at the back-ish, but it's kind of goes out of its way to make a lot of spike. So this is a Sonic one. It's not entirely bad. It's actually not bad. It's just, you can tell by the paint apps. Obviously, the cam kind of shot is good, but that's the Sonic one. Put that there. This is the Motobug. Retro Motobug, if for those who have not seen it, here it is. It's it's I don't know if it's because of fading or just the way they decided to do, but I'm pretty sure Motorbug didn't have this kind of, you know, aqua blue sort of spikes, sort of like little hinges, little claws, and also covering his face, and you can clearly see his face, how he's angry. They even decided to put like eyebrows on a robot, because yeah, robots have emotional feelings. Well, okay, that's debatable, really. It really is. You have Omega from Sonic Heroes series, and that's a whole different debate. He even goes out of the ways to actually paint on the tires. They look pretty shonky, to be honest with you. Not too impressed with it, but I guess it's there. And you have his little spikes and his little, of course, little jet propellers-ish kind of thing that propels him to go. Once again, the actual sculpt itself is superb. I am not doubting that whatsoever. The paint apps are to be desired. So that's Motorbug. It's decent, just doesn't really go nuts. The next one is Caterkiller. I think by far from this set and the ones that I've seen is by far the best in terms of sculpt. I'll do it one. Best in terms of sculpt. But of course, his color. Come on. What is it? When I want it to show perfectly, there we go. There we go. So yeah, for the most part, it's here we go. For the most part, it's done perfectly well. His sculpt, every single one that I've gotten so far, the sculpts are perfect. This one, by far, in my personal opinion, they got the face right, even though it's pretty cute. Like, it's kind of cute in a weird way. You have his little antennas painted perfectly. For the most part, you know, this was painted perfectly. Now, that could mainly be due to the simple paint palettes that were used in the actual original game. He was mostly yellow, grey, and purple. So to get this wrong would be quite embarrassing, to be honest, but for the most part, it's actually good. So this is Caterkiller. I actually like Caterkiller a lot. He was actually one of the enemies that were quite annoying to defeat. You're like, if you jump on him, you get hurt. How do you defeat him? So you have to hit head. Now this guy, I never knew his name, and I hated the water stage as a passion. It's I don't know. I can swim until my heart content, but in playing Sonic and you hearing the timer, that always freaked me out. Especially these creatures that you never really knew where they were coming out until you realize, okay, well, there's drills on the floor. There's the action. So this is the Burrowbot. Once again, this scope is absolutely superb. Obviously, the paint apps are much to be desired. I do like how they did attention to details and having like kind of like three little, you know, metallical screws on his arms. I get that, it's impressive. On the other side, it does it the same. But overall, the paint app is pretty, you know. I'll give you an example. For example, on his tires, you have white and grey. Like, really? Is that thingy? And if you look at the bottom, if I can do that, yeah, you can definitely tell that they can't paint in the line. At the very top, you can also see more paint apps. It's kind of a white, you know, pinkish thing. I found it quite weird. I never saw this myself, so I'm gonna have to play with some of the old Genesis, the old Mega Drive. Here in Australia, we had Mega Drives. In the US, it was Genesis. But it kind of had like a hat. It wasn't a helmet. It was like a hat underwater, and it would just jump out and then crawl over to you. So yeah, that's the Burrowbot. He kind of looks a bit, you know, I'm for sure look with his eyes popping up, but who am I to judge their individuality? Anyway, let's put this in. So yeah, that's my obviously general thoughts of these reviews. They're not bad, to be honest. Obviously from the collector's point of view, you would probably want to get them. I think they're, if for example they were painted better, I think these would have, you know, bursted out in crazy in terms of in price. And to be honest, I would have paid more. To be honest with you, they were decent. They were decent. I guess, you know, decent price at the time. I think I got this one for about 120. I might be mistaken. It could be. It was around the $100 mark, but it was about 100, 120, all up shipping and all. These tend to pop up in the UK auction websites. Surprise, surprise. I saw a few in the US. Well, singular, but in its full packaging, you are looking at better. Funny enough, singular, like without the packaging, tends to sell more than the actual ones that come with the package themselves. From what I've seen, I don't know why. I can't explain that. I think the packaging is way much better than the figurines, as a whole, collectively, packaging by itself, no. As a whole, packaging and figurines, I think it's perfectly fine. But that's what I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong. Please prove me wrong. But yeah, obviously the company is Tommy. It was released roughly 1994 thereabouts. After released in the UK-ish. You can probably only find these in auction websites. This is definitely not a retail thing anymore. Price is about 120, so it's a hefty price for a bunch of small figurines that for the most part the molds are perfect, but the paint apps are pretty bad. But hey, look, it's definitely worth a catch. Guys, tell me what you think. If you like it, if you don't like it, if your general thoughts on it. I do like to get as much feedback as possible, because I make these reviews. You can comment and let me know if you find it pretty awesome. I think they're pretty awesome. Hopefully the next one I'll review of this, because I have 3 out of the 5. This is obviously number 2, so we'll probably see if that's next week, or I'll probably do it earlier this week, who knows, I don't know. Guys, thank you. Oh yes, rarity, I forgot to mention rarity. Rarity is, depending on the collector, these are definitely pretty hard to catch. I'll probably give this about 7.5, 7 stars out of 10. Yeah, I think that's fair. Not super hard, not super easy. 7 stars out of 10. I think so. That's a nice little number. 7 out of 10. But it's an even number. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching these videos. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. And yeah, guys, speed on.